Today we're going to talk about branding and how you can take branding to the next level to have your business explode. So pretty much what I have learned when it comes to branding and how I started to brand myself is that if you do not brand yourself intentionally, then you are going to brand yourself by default, and that may not be the best case, right? You're always going to be branding, whether you like it or not. You're always going to be branding yourself. You're going to be branding yourself, your business, whatever you think you're doing. Like anytime you think of any company, if you think of the name, you think of the logo, that is branding, right? But a lot of people make this mistake and they believe that they need to start paying marketing and paying for all these different things to get their name out there. And what you really need to get good at is understanding that, yes, you need to get attention from the marketplace and put your name and the logo and the business cards and the websites and all that shit, but that really is not what branding is about. Branding is not just your name and your logo, right? Branding is another level of psychological warfare into the customer's mind. Like when you think of Michael Baraib, hopefully, there's a specific thought that you have, right? And whatever, it may be different for everyone, right? But my goal is to make sure that when I'm branding myself, right, when I'm branding my business, that I'm actually deliberate and I want people to be saying the same exact thing that I am actually, trying to portray into the marketplace. So the number one thing that I learned about branding, right, is that your words have to match your actions in branding. Like for example, when you think of branding, when you think of Michael Baraib, right, when you think of Michael Baraib, what do you think of? I think of sales. I think of, influencer. I think of leadership. That's what I think of, right? Now, that may not be the case for you because you maybe don't know me. Maybe you haven't watched too many of my videos. But the second you see it in my videos, you automatically put me as high energy, leadership, business, something along those lines, right? And you know that if you go to my content, you follow my page, there's obviously a specific type of person that would love to follow my content. Now, the things that I focus on every single day is education and entertainment, right? I do the interviews for entertainment. I do the education for people that want to be business owners and entrepreneurs and want to build sales teams. But that's my kind of mindset of branding myself. And how do you brand yourself? By going out there into the marketplace and talking about stuff and having your words match your actions. Too many people make this mistake where they do a lot of talking, but their actions don't match up, right? A lot of people ask me sometimes, Michael, how do you know what to talk about in videos? I'm like, dude, I just live my life, I educate myself, and I talk about what I know. If you talk about things that you know about, then you don't have to sit there and make up shit. You just talk about things that you're very confident to talk about. I promise you, let's say you're an amazing painter. I don't have to convince you to talk about painting. You can show me, you can talk about the different brushes, the different paints, how to mix this and how to mix that, how to do this, how to do that, how to let it dry, all the things that when it comes to painting, you probably know better than anyone else. And you could talk about it very freely, very openly, and you have confidence talking about it, right? And that's the mindset of branding. When you're branding something, when you're branding your business, talk about things that you are 100% sure about, confident about, so that the marketplace can say, you know what? I like what he's talking about, and then you can see your actions matching out with those words. Too many people do a lot of yapping about things they shouldn't be talking about, and guess what happens? They lose credibility. And if you lose credibility when it comes to branding, it will not help your business grow. It will not help you grow. I get a lot of people sometimes asking, Michael, why are you doing all these videos sometimes, right? Like on, in the streets and the content, like, why don't you just focus on marketing, like just your product or service? And I learned a long time ago that the business that I am in, I am marketing. You just don't realize it, right? Do you know how many people have come to me or come work with me all because of one of my videos? It is branding, right? My branding is out there to that is marketing, right? I am marketing myself to build a brand. My brand is me. I am the brand, you.com. That's the brand. And if you build a proper brand, and by the way, in the past 7-8 years, right, that I've had one of my companies, 2006, what is it, 7 years? Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? The past 7 years that I had this company, we've sold so many different products, it is unbelievable. I've sold telecom, I've sold energy, I've sold, solar, I've sold all kinds of stuff. And it's home security. Like we've sold almost everything. But nobody ever cares about the product you sell, right? They care about the branding. They care about who you are and what you're about. The guys that started working with us, they don't give a shit what product we're selling. Sometimes we need to sell products and services. Sometimes we change the product. It doesn't matter. Like look at Amazon. Does Amazon sell a specific product? No. They're focused. You know them as the brand as fast delivery. Shit in my house when I need it, right? I don't think of CVS when I want something fast in my house. I think of actually like, oh my God, I got to go to CVS. They're going to send me 1,000 freaking roll receipt that I can wipe my ass with. Like that's what CVS is to me, right? But to you and to me, when it comes to Amazon, you think of fast delivery. If I need it tomorrow, I can have it tomorrow instantly, right? And a lot of times it's not cheaper. Matter of fact, most of the time it's not cheaper. And I already know that. You probably know that, but you don't care because you want what? That delivery, right? That efficiency. If I'm gonna buy something from some store, I'd rather buy it through Amazon because I know that if I buy it through Amazon, guess what happens? I can return it. And they don't ask any questions. But if I buy it from like some bullshit website, they ship it to me, I have to find the label, they may charge me for shipping to return it, I can't reach the customer service. It's a nightmare. We've all been through that. So branding is extremely important to talk about things that you know and have your actions match up with that, right? The next thing about branding, right, is, and we talked about this, you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional about branding. You need to know exactly what you want people to be thinking about your brand. If you have no idea what people think about your brand, then you're not branding, you're just talking. You need to be very intentional about your branding. You need to know exactly the type of person you're looking for that will be thinking about you and thinking about X, Y, and Z about your business, about your product. Because being intentional in business is extremely important. A lot of people in business, they have no strategy. They're just like, let me just sell some shit today. And that's not how you build a business. You need to have a strategy. Like if you play chess, some of you guys maybe play chess. When I play chess, I'm not thinking about one move ahead. I'm thinking about, okay, if I do this, he does that. But then I do this, but then he can do that. But he can do this and I can do that. And it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moves ahead. And you might say, Michael, how do you think so far ahead? Well, because I need to know what my strategy is. My strategy is to execute the pawn, execute the rook, so I can get the queen. So I can then eventually blah, blah, blah. So you got to know what you're doing. You got to think ahead. And branding is about that. Branding is about thinking ahead and actually doing the things that you need to do intentionally. And if you brand your business properly with intention, you will get exactly what you brand yourself with. Remember, what you talk about, what you speak about, your actions will be your branding. Remember, people will think about you no matter what. The question is, what will they think about? Right? And if you're growing your business, you wanted to think of specific things so it can help your bottom line, help grow your revenue, help grow your business, right? The next thing is, what are people saying behind closed doors when you're not there? See, it's very easy for someone to say, Michael, I like your content in front of my face because they like me, they want to shake my hand or whatever. But what about behind closed doors? What are people saying behind closed doors? How do you know that? You need to start listening to the whispers in the marketplace. What are people talking about when they think of your name and your business and your company? What are they saying? Are they saying positive things? Are they saying negative things? There's going to be both, by the way, and you're okay with that because you need to get that information and see how you can improve your business. But you need to know the positive people. What are they saying? Why are they buying your product? Why are they buying your service? Why are they joining your business? And if you can figure out what people are saying behind closed doors, you will get a real sense of what your business is and what your branding really is. Like for example, if you come to my company and you ask me what's my culture, you shouldn't be asking me what the culture is. You should sit down in the room and look at the team and talk to them. Talk to the newest person. What is the culture? If you have a couple of guys and girls in your company and you don't know what your culture is, ask the newest person. What is our culture? Give it to us in 5 words, and those 5 words is your culture. It's not what you think is the culture, because you could talk about culture all fucking day. You could talk about branding all fucking day, right? It's not about talking about it. It's about what are other people, especially new people, saying about your business, saying about who you are, saying about your branding, right? That's very important. And the last thing about branding is when you get so good at branding, when you get so good at being in the marketplace, and you start seeing people refer friends, sharing your content, talking about your product, talking about your service, that's when you know you've effectively branded yourself properly, because other people are willing to talk about your shit and share your shit for free. If they're not willing to do it for free because they're an affiliate and you pay them, that's not real branding, right? You can still brand that way. I'm not saying you don't do that. But what I am saying is that if you want true, loyal people talking about your product, talking about your service, talking about that stuff, if you have that, and if you want that, you really need to get good at branding. And if you do have that, your branding is on point because you're doing the right thing. You're talking to the right person, to the right group of people, and they feel you. They got hit, and now they want to share your information. They want to share your product. They want to share your service, send you a referral, and a lot of times they don't even want the money. They just want to do it to help you out and to help the other person out. That's when you know you have a viral brand. And if you think of any company out there, right? If I say Budweiser, you think of a couple of words. When I say, BMW, you think of brand. Like I just drove a Mercedes and I just went to LA and I rented out a Mercedes. And I loved it. The brand to me, Mercedes is about quality to me, right? And that's what they kind of been working on for many, 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 many years. You think of Lamborghini, you think of what? Sex appeal, right? You got to understand, every single company has a brand. What is your brand? Even if you got one person on your team right now, you just started last month, it's okay. Think about branding from the day you start your business and talk about the things that you talk about. Believe in the things you believe about and make sure your actions match up. And I promise you, if you do things the right way with branding and you become intentional about it, your business will grow, your business will explode, your marketing will explode, and you'll see yourself at the top. Now, if you appreciate this kind of information, do me a solid, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.